Welcome to the Hood. I'm Jack, your Hood sommelier, and today we have another episode of 5 Things You Need to Know. If you're a bourbon lover, the hardest thing to do is to switch from bourbon to scotch, and most people, it's hard for them to make that transition. So there's 2 schools of thought. Either you're a bourbon guy or you're a scotch guy, but some days you dabble in between. Now, most people, I started personally in scotch. Then I moved into bourbon. The transition was much easier. But people that start in bourbon and want to move into scotch, it's kind of hard for them to know what they like, knowing that most scotch can be peaty, most scotch have a sherry, a really strong sherry taste to them. It makes it hard for people to want to go the scotch way. So today I'm here to help you. 5 scotch that any bourbon lover, I want to guarantee it, but no, any bourbon lover will need to gravitate towards if you want to get into scotch. Let's get into it. First scotch, very available, anybody can have it, is the AUCHENTOSHAN 12-year. So the AUCHENTOSHAN 12-year scotch is a single malt scotch, triple distill. All it has is notes of almost bourbon. You get toffee, you get caramel, you get cuties or mandarin, that citrusy way that it goes. It comes at 80 proof and is very, very smooth when it goes down. And if you're a bourbon lover, in bourbon, we already have that toffee profile, that oakiness, that caramel. So obviously, this is the bottle you may want if you want to try scotch. Number 2, a little more complex, a little more edgier bottle that you should look for. Also very available is the Johnnie Walker Green Label. What makes Johnnie Walker Green Label a very interesting scotch is that it's a blended scotch. So most blended scotch are pretty much refined. It comes with 4 different types of scotch that were blended, finished in a honey barrel, and very, very easy on the nose. And if you like ice in your bourbon, you can pour this scotch on ice and it will change the flavor profile. It opens it up, and it's very available. It's very actually affordable as well, and it has almost enough complexity to make you want to have a little more. If you look at my collection, if there's a bottle of scotch that I keep around, it's always Johnnie Walker Green. Number 3, one bottle that most people maybe you can look over, but that is very dear to me personally. It's a brand that got me actually into scotch, is Glenfiddich. Glenfiddich, 14 years. So Glenfiddich, 14 years is probably one of the most interesting Glenfiddich because it has a lot of relations to bourbon. Why? Glenfiddich was actually finished in American oak barrel. Of course, American oak barrel here is, as you can see, you can read it on it. American oak barrel, you get that finish of that, that perfect Kentucky oakiness, but it still has that heritage, Scottish way of making bourbon, the sherry oak you get, but you have that perfect American complexity of that blend between oak and sherry in a 14-year scotch. Is delicious. It comes just amazingly on the tongue. It coats well, and you can finish a whole bottle and not even realize it. Number 4, from the Highland of Scotland, ABERLOUR 12 years. ABERLOUR 12 years is probably what can I say? Probably the most ignored child of scotch. Most people don't, it's very affordable. I'm pretty sure under $30 to $40 at the max. But this right here compete with probably older scotch, older, fancier scotch, because I believe it was made honestly, because it's double cask matured. So they started this thing in a regular sherry cask, and then they finish it in a different old cask. That just give it enough complexity. You know, is a space side, is perfectly blended. But also for a bourbon lover, the proof on it is so low that you just go, okay, you know, I may not like, you know, things that scotchy, that peatiness in scotch, but this has a little bit of that slight peatiness to pique your interest. So ABERLOUR 12 is probably one of my favorite space side Highland scotch that I always go to. Last but not least, my favorite, and I have the whole collection of this brand, because every time they come out with a bottle, I always grab one, is BALVENIE DOUBLEWOOD Matured. BALVENIE DOUBLEWOOD Matured is probably, again, the reason why I'm advising you guys about scotches, that bourbon lover, is because scotch itself can be blend, because you get, you know, straight sherry, right? It's just in. But these particular scotches that I've been talking about, including this DOUBLEWOOD BALVENIE, were all double cask mature. So they started somewhere, which is standard like the scotch, but ended in a different barrel to give it more character. So if you are somebody who flavor, taste, and almost like to be intrigued, this bottle right here has sherry oak, has regular whiskey oak, so you're not really getting away from bourbon, right? You're still in that bourbon realm, but the way your scotch was made, just beautiful, right? So BALVENIE DOUBLEWOOD Oak, probably one of my favorite all-time tasty bourbon that you can have ever. Ladies and gentlemen, these were the 5 scotch bottles that you can grab if you're a bourbon lover, if you're a die-hard bourbon lover. But if you start with any of these bottles, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And these are the gateway to really discover what the world of bourbon looks like. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching my videos. Really appreciate it. For more information and more reviews like this, please check out the links below. Subscribe to my channel, and please check out my IG for more daily contents and way to make cocktails. And if you want to wear awesome gears like this, check out my website on the description below.